Anyone, and welcome into your Billy Goodman Happening, your only scientific spiritual happening anywhere in the entire universe. And for the next 3 hours, we are going to be here. I listen to one hour until they come and take me away. Whichever comes first, a little later on. If all goes well, I always say this because, you can't make promises and then all of a sudden it'll happen. But if all goes well, Fred Steckling will be here. He is scheduled. He says he will be here via telephone. You only have to hope that he will follow up on that and he gets through and everything will work out just fine. And we'll be talking about alien bases on the moon. Oh, yes, I've been reading the book today. I think you'll find it fascinating. Let's give you a little tease here. A little bit of tease will be fine on it. Let's see. Some of the things I kind of checked off you might find fascinating. Fred Steckling, is a quote from Fred in his book, says he knows from personal experience that UFOs do exist. He says he sighted some of them from aircraft through telescopes and from the ground. In 1976, he managed to film 35 feet of 8-millimeter Kodak color film of a UFO in motion over North San Diego County. I have difficulty breathing here tonight. I don't know what it is. Sometimes you can, sometimes you can't. I say, behind the lunar mysteries we find back in our high school days, we were taught a relatively complete set of facts about the moon. We were told, and strangely still are told today, that the moon is incapable of supporting life, is airless, is covered with craters of extinct volcanoes, and is plainly speaking a globe of dead rock. The trouble is, those facts are no longer acceptable, since our lunar explorations by the Apollo missions have returned ample evidence to prove otherwise. Just some things that pique your interest. Fred Steckling will be joining us later on this your Billy Goodman Happening. How has your Friday been going? Are you getting ready for your weekend? I bet you are. I don't blame you. Don't blame me one iota. And our phone numbers, of course, you might as well drop them down so that you'll have them ready when it's time to call in. Phone numbers are locally in Las Vegas, North Las Vegas, Henderson, or Boulder City. You can call 451-5834. That's 451-KVEG. From out of state, just put 702 in front of that. You might have to also put a 1 in front of the 702. 451-5834. And, of course, we have that brand new First Bloodline if you've never called before. And that is 702-451-5655. Well, acknowledge the mail. Let's hear some interesting letters. I listen to your Happening every night, especially the last hour, as I don't get home from work until about midnight. I work security at the Clark County Courthouse, and my radio will not pick up AM stations inside where I work. Anyway, please excuse my typing, but my handwriting is even worse, so at least maybe you can read this. I want to tell you a couple of experiences I have had concerning UFOs. I was in the United States Navy from 1955 to 1959, and somewhere around 1957 or 1958, while I was serving on an aircraft carrier, there was a rumor going around that the United States Navy itself was flying these saucers around. While I was in the Navy, I myself did not see any saucers. But about 1949 or 1950, just before my brother was drafted for the Korean conflict, we were living in Sunny Slope, Washington, which is near Wenatchee, Washington, the apple capital of the world. And one evening just before sundown, I and some of my buddies were playing catch-up in the street by my house, and someone said, "Look up by the mountain," and we all looked, and there was this saucer-shaped object with a small dome on top, and it was spinning real fast. And the edges of the saucer appeared to be on fire, with flames licking the edges. There must have been at least 50 people in my neighborhood who watched this craft until it disappeared over the mountain. And one other thing I forgot to mention, this craft had portholes around the dome. Well, I really enjoy the happening, and I just know that we will get to the truth if we don't falter. As I tell my friends at work who are skeptics about UFOs, once they see one, as I have, then they will believe. Keep the good work. Before the happening, listen, I don't know if you want me to mention your name, but I'll say John. All right, John? We'll go that far. I don't know if you want your name mentioned. Sometimes people don't. You know, and I'm hearing more and more if something is said on the happening. More and more people want to sue me lately. They're causing all kinds of hassles here, I'll tell you right now. More and more people. Every time I talk to someone here at the radio station, someone wants to sue you today. And next time that happens, we're not going to let you stay on the air anymore. I mean, that's the way they talk around here. Amazing. Like, I cause all the problems. This is about Billy Goodman happening. We have some new music tonight, as provided by Mike and Cindy Younger. Yes, we do have one. It's already been put together. Give you an idea what's in it this month, as we try to do it all by ourselves once again, as we go on and on and on, big time. All right. In the newsletter, you will find an article on Bill Cooper and Bob Lazar, a revelation in UFOs, the story of Bob Lazar. You'll read that. Also, the story of the Center for Action. You'll also read about an abduction and all about the Center for Action. A statement by General Kumsa about the drug situation when Bill Greitz met with him. There's a questionnaire in here and a map. Bunch of good stuff. It's a scientific spiritual happening. If you haven't already signed up, call this number right now. 619-397-3616. Talk to Lisa or Tom. 619-397-3616. If you haven't already returned, if you've received your free copy, if you're already on the mailing list, make sure you turn in the subscription form so that you don't miss out on the next one. The next one's going to be really exciting, too. All right. Our phone numbers are 451-5834. From out of state, area code 702-451-5834. If you've never called before, you can call 702-451-5655 as we await Fred Steckling. Great music, thanks to Mike and Cindy Younger. What happened? We're getting feedback. Oh, let's go to the telephones. Hello, you're on the Billy Goodman Happening on KVEG. Hi, Billy. Yes.
This is Chuck.
Hello, Chuck. How are you tonight?
Not too bad.
Good.
I called Harry Reid's office about Area 51.
Yes.
There's a short 4-line paragraph that I'd like to read to you.
Okay.
It says, as you know, that area is highly restricted and highly classified. Period.
Right.
Government agencies, other than federal agencies, do not engage in extraterrestrial research programs, nor does the National Aeronautics and Space Administration, NASA.
But he does go, what does that tell you?
It tells me it's cover up, cover up, cover up.
Cover up, cover up, cover up time.
Denial, denial, denial.
Oh, it's cover up a time again.
Yeah.
It's going to be a bummer.
U.S. Senator. So,
all right.
He was the one that was invited out there for the tour.
Is that right?
And it's kind of interesting that he would actually put it in writing, but he did.
Mm-hmm. All right, Chuck. Thank you for that.
You're welcome.
You take care, guy.
Have a good night.
You too. Bye-bye. Hello, you're next to the Billy Goodman Happening on KVEG in Las Vegas.
Hello there, this is Robert the Reasonable.
Yes, Robert the Reasonable. How are you this evening?
Pretty tolerable. I got my first edition of the newsletter, and I enjoyed it.
Oh, good. I'm glad to hear that.
I was only the proofreader for a couple of misspelled words.
Well, of course you had to throw that in.
Yeah, well.
Yeah, because you got so much class to offer us. Can you tell me that off the air? Say, Billy, there's a little mistake.
Oh, it's not
bad. Well, why throw that in?
Everybody has it.
Yeah, I know, Robert.
Don't hurt a thing.
No, of course not. One of those little, how you doing, it's good, but here's a zinger over here on the right-hand side.
You got me there. I want to make a comment.
Yeah.
After Bill Cooper's call last night, it is obvious to me that our present situation is deadly situous. Someday in the future, our children might ask some of us this question. Mommy and or Daddy, how come we are so in debt, don't own anything in the government?
station as being, every time something is said, I'm being accused of letting it be said. And I'm getting sick and tired of it.
They want to sue you, huh?
Everybody is in a suing mood. Come on, join up in the party. I'm really getting to that point.
Yeah, I know. It's a good person.
Well, that's okay. If that's what they want, eventually they'll get me off here. If that's their goal, boy, they're real close to doing it, I'll tell you.
It's going to be very difficult for some of us right-wingers to talk if we have to say what we feel.
Right.
We've lost something very dear to our hearts. Mm-hmm. But I'll try. I mean, you can catch me now. Now, will you people be able to explain to your children just how we got into this mess? I doubt it, so I'll tell you how it happened and see how much you can remember. Mm-hmm. We were tricked by reverse uses and meaning of words and phrases. We were convinced that democracy was good for us. We killed our best friends to make the world safe for democracy.
Right.
And we charged the cost to our own property. Mm-hmm. We passed laws to protect the rights of so-called minorities that negated majority private property rights. We believed false authorities in the field of government-controlled education and religion. Mm-hmm. And when told the truth by our informed peers, we were told it was racism and hate. And we believed it. Yes, my children, the masters of deceit played a word game with us, and we lost. The only thing that can possibly save us now is a supernatural catastrophe, like a meteorite striking Washington, D.C. on payday.
All right, okay. Thanks for the call.
I won't say that anymore.
All right, thanks for the call.
All right.
Bye-bye. Okay. Fred Steckling, if you're listening to us, please call in and accept my apologies. I have to answer all the phones. I'm doing it all by myself, so understand that. That's the way we work here. So if you are listening to us, Fred, we're ready for your telephone call. If you know Fred Steckling, please have him call us at 702-451-5834. I can't do any more about it. I just have to wait. Get to the phones when I can. I saw the phones ringing, but you can't always get there fast enough for people. So if you know Fred, call him right now. Tell him to call me at 702-451-5834, please. We need a little help. And you can imagine. This is me right here. Running the whole thing. Running the delay. Running everything. Mind you. Totally. In Las Vegas, Nevada. And serving 10 states. Running the whole kit and caboodle, as they say. You are listening to the Billy Goodman Happening, the only scientific spiritual happening anywhere in the entire universe. Our phone numbers are 451-5834. From out of state, dial area code 702-451-5834. And if you have never called before and you'd like to introduce yourself to us, listen to us outside the state of Nevada, 702-451-5655. Also, I got to tell you something else. There's absolutely no air in here tonight either, so you can imagine what I'm going through. Hi, you're next to the Billy Goodman Happening on KVEG.
Hello.
Yes.
Hello, Bill. This is Fred Steckling.
Well, hello, Fred.
What's happening?
The Billy Goodman Happening is happening. How about with you, sir? You tell us what's happening with you. Fred Steckling, by the way, is the author of the book We Discovered Alien Bases on the Moon, which has been documented with 125 NASA photographs and area blow-ups. I was reading a little bit about the book, reading the book a little bit today, Fred. I understand you saw a UFO at one time.
Yes, not just one time, but during the 1960s and also during the 1970s.
Mm-hmm.
I filmed one hit me in a movie.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
How about, so tell us something about that.
Well, during the 60s, after having a few very, very close-up sightings and of UFOs, and I want to mention that I am a pilot, and I am used to looking up in the sky. Mm-hmm. So I definitely, what I have seen were not aircraft of our make.
Right.
And I came to the conclusion that these visitors, these spacecraft, or UFOs as we call them, mm-hmm. must have a base on the moon or come from the moon,
right.
because this is the closest planetary body to Earth, and it would only make sense that they would stop over there and to observe the Earth.
Okay. You also indicate in your book that there were many, many trips to the moon, and many of the astronauts actually set foot on the moon. I was not aware that many astronauts at different times actually explore the moon.
Oh, yes.
I don't know if everybody else is either out there. I kind of doubt that. We're talking almost like 5 or 6 different times.